Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about
comic books, costumes,
facts, boots,
and other stuff.
In this week's issue, World's Finest Wednesday.
Welcome into Bros, Foes, and Heroes, a World's Finest Wednesday edition again, as we cover some of the great Silver Age shenanigans. I'm Zach, joined as always by the material. That's not even a word.
Material.
I was thinking ethereal.
Yeah.
Like spectre-ish.
Right.
But I needed an M because I always like M words. You know what?
Monstrous.
Monstrous?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll work.
It's like
the
in the
monstrous
same-
one, Mr. Mike.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
You
Hello.
know what I started? I noticed going back and listening to shows that I just, it died off after about episode like 9 or 10, is I would call you the such and such to my whatever.
Oh,
and
yeah, you
would be the
did.
sidekick.
I forgot about that.
So like the Speedy to my Green Arrow, the
Yeah.
Robin to my Batman,
Yeah.
the Beast Boy to my Cyborg. Like,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah. The JD
I don't know
Vance,
if I'll bring that back. I was just saying, remember,
the JD Vance to your Trump.
that's one I never use.
Oh, didn't you?
And we'll never
okay.
use. If
The
anything,
Bear Cub to your RFK
I think
Jr.
I kind of look like it. No, it's the well that's going to.
We don't get political very often, but hey, kids, listen to this. No, we're not getting political at all. No, I don't want to do that.
Man, so a World's Finest Wednesday, which means we have more shenanigans for you. I forgot to look up though the year, and so I'm doing that real quick
1969.
because no, this came out February of 1964. The issue we're covering today, and that would be World's Finest issue number 139.
Oh.
The Ghost of Batman.
It scared me. I saw that.
I told you.
I saw that white Batman.
It was.
All
and
white
the cover,
Batman
is dead. And it's all because of you, Superman.
Yeah. So now in the last couple of episodes here, we've covered Superman being cut up into pieces and just strewn about the planet. And then now Batman's
dead.
Huh.
And it's Superman's fault. So, you know,
starting to detect a theme.
Yeah, a little bit. Let's go ahead and dive into that as we look at the Ghost of Batman. And you can see from our first panel here as it gives, I was telling Mike how much I love these intros, so I'll read it as you soak in the picture.
Yeah, please.
But it's like, Batman dead to his closest friend Robin.
Yeah.
This news was a terrible blow. To the underworld, however, it was a time to rejoice, for they thought themselves at long last rid of the cowed crime fighter. But they
not if he's a ghost.
No, but they didn't count on Superman joining forces with Robin and a spectral figure who hovered over Gotham to haunt them. ... The Ghost of Batman.
That has to be the last thing Superman wants to do, is pal up with Robin. He's like, yeah, I guess, Robin.
Like,
I don't
it's
know.
Me and Robin again. Well, just wait till you find out. We'll get to the story. So what happens is one night.
Can I go out on a limb and guess?
Oh, hold on. Yeah, but then before you see that, go ahead.
Well, I can't see anything anyway. Batman's not dead.
Okay.
I think he's just painted up white, or he rolled around in some flour or something, because that's the way these stories go.
Half right.
Okay, great.
You'll find out what half.
Yeah, I got you.
In a second.
We're like an Agatha Christie novel up in here.
I love how it tells you one day, like, you know, a sports car pulls to the curb and Bruce Batman Wayne and Kathy Batwoman Kane.
Is that their middle names?
I guess,
because I think that would give it away.
You would think, but no, it's just letting you know that Batman is Bruce Wayne and Batwoman is Kathy Kane. And at this time in 1964, neither did the two shall meet because they did not know.
Oh my gosh, I did something. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I didn't hear it.
I played some sound and I didn't mean to, because I was looking up Batman Kane or whatever her name is.
Kathy Kane?
Is it Kathy Kane?
Kathy Kane.
Like Candy Cane, but Kathy Kane?
Kathy Kane for Batwoman.
Is it K's?
It's K's, yeah.
Double K.
And neither, again, and neither the two shall meet because neither of them know that the other one's Batman or Batwoman.
But the narrator does.
And we do as the audience. And so he's like, "Hey, Kathy, our date tonight. I'm afraid I won't be able to make it." And she goes, "Huh? Quite a coincidence. I heard Batman was asked to perform for charity." And she's like, and he's like, "Oh, Kathy, not that old chestnut again." Because I love Bruce.
That
Like,
old
not that old
chestnut.
chestnut. And
Uh,
essentially, Kathy tells him, Bruce says, will you ever stop suspecting I'm secretly Batman?" And Kathy's like, "No, call it my woman's intuition, Bruce, and one day I'll prove it to you. Bye-bye, have fun."
call it my woman's intuition and the fact that your middle name is Batman. Yeah.
Let's completely forget the fact that my middle name is Batwoman. That's
Sure.
just to throw people off.
Is it Batwoman?
Yeah, she's Kathy Kane's Batwoman.
Wait, there's a Batwoman and a Batgirl?
Yeah, Batgirl's Barbara Gordon.
Huh. How do they get their, I mean,
They got bit by radioactive bats.
okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of them except Batman.
Sure.
So
It'd be weird if you said like they got sprayed by a skunk or something, you know.
Well, then they'd be Skunk Man.
I was thinking of
Skunk Girl.
for some reason
There's
I was thinking
Squirrel Girl.
for some reason I was thinking, yeah, I know Squirrel Girl. She gets in a tank, right? Or something.
No, that's Tank Girl.
Oh, okay, same thing.
Eh.
I was thinking of skunks this morning, and I don't know why this came to my head, but my daughter, she used to call skunks snunks.
Okay, I've heard that before.
Yeah, she'd be like, "Oh, it smells like a snunk in here."
That's kind of cute, though.
Yeah, it's cute. When a 50-year-old man says it, it's not cute.
No,
People think you have like a disability of
I
some
still
sort.
think it's cute. So Batman realizes
Has a lot to do with this.
he's like, "Man, I'll have to phone tonight and let Kathy know for sure. Like,
Yeah,
if she's really on this me being Batman thing, I
Yeah.
got to figure out something to do."
what does Kathy Kane do for a living? Do you know?
Not at this time, I don't know.
Is
I
she
think
a-
she worked as like a cop maybe at one point in time.
Oh, okay, all right, that makes a little sense.
I mean, again, I don't know about during the sick. I know
Not that
later
any
on
of
I
this
feel like
shit needs to make sense. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that makes a little
nothing
sense.
is going to make sense.
Yeah.
As I sit here, so I can make sure nothing in these World's Finest Wednesdays are going to make sense, and that's
Yeah.
the beauty of some of it.
I get that.
But so Batman phones up Superman, and he's like, "Hey, maybe Superman can fill in for me as Batman tonight."
Ring, 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 ring.
Like, that's the thing.
Hey,
Like,
Superman.
Well, he's sitting there and he's telling Robin his idea. He's like, "Hey,
Yeah.
I think that Superman could fill in for me. I'll go on my date."
Mm.
And then Catherine will be like, "Oh, he can't be Batman because
Yeah.
Batman was performing for charity. He was here on this date with
So
me."
he wants Superman to
So-
dress up like him.
Exactly. Okay, you following now?
Yeah. It feels like a 80s sitcom. Like this is something that would happen in
It's ahead of its time then, Mike.
Come and knock on our door.
We've been waiting for
Yeah.
you.
Where the kisses are Batman, Superman, Robin, and you. Something
Hey,
like
that's
that.
not that's
Yeah,
not
so
bad.
it wasn't too bad.
I just always remember
I'll workshop it a
it's
little bit.
thing and a thing and a thing and Three's Company too from Full
Yeah.
House. I don't even remember the full song.
Where the kisses are his and hers, Three's Company too.
That's what the line is?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh.
And I believe it was written by Alan Thicke.
Huh, you learn something new every day.
Two
Shooting
C's.
star. What'd you say?
2 C's
Oh.
with Thicke.
Oh, that was good. That was good. But so while he's out on his date with Kathy, he's like, "Hey, I look, there's Batman performing for charity."
Oh yeah.
And she's like, "Oh wow, oh okay."
What does
I guess,
Batman do when he performs for charity?
He does in this case
Uses his
a
cape and does
triple
puppets.
somersault.
Oh, okay.
They're doing high wire acts because that's what Robin wants to do. Obviously, that's what he did. They're
Robin's
doing
a
trapeze
dipshit,
acts.
is what. Robin's not a smart boy.
Why?
I don't know. He wants to get out and perform for people on a high wire.
Oh, that's what they did. That's what the
And he's-
Flying Graysons did.
And he's dressed like the woman that plays Peter Pan.
That's what they. Okay, hold on. That's what the Flying Graysons did,
Okay.
and that's like again, they were trapeze artists.
Yeah, you gave it up, man. You started dressing like
he
that
still
and
knows
following
how to
this
do
dude
it. Why
around.
can't he pull it out for
He better not pull
charity?
it out for charity.
Well, not like that. I'm just saying
Okay.
the skills.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Why can't he pull those out?
I'm just
Anyway,
Woo,
back to our story. So while they're there,
look at my eggs,
and
everybody.
they finish
My little robin eggs.
they finish their act, and Superman dresses Batman. Goes, "Hey, I think those are guys of the Sphinx gang," and so they go chase
who?
after him. The Sphinx, like
The Sphinx gang.
yeah, the Sphinx
Okay. All right.
gang,
That's stinking Sphinx gang.
exactly. And so
Stinking
they chase
Sphinx squad.
after him, and there's a bomb that goes off because it was a trap,
Oh.
and they think there's no way that anyone could have survived it. So Superman,
That gets me every damn time
what?
when I see the dinosaur and the giant 8-ball and all that shit he's got stuck up in his bat cave. It gets me every damn time. I'm like, oh shit, they're in the bat cave.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know why. It catches me by surprise
that he would
every
have that
single
stuff,
time.
even though we've seen the Batcave full of that shit
Yes,
so much.
absolutely. I don't know. It's just so out of place and weird.
Yeah, that's kind of the Batcave at this time.
Yeah.
Or the giant Joker face down
Yeah,
there.
I don't understand that part either. It's a giant Joker
It's a
face.
trophy. Remember, they keep trophies in that story with Nightman.
Where'd he get
of
that?
all their exports. He made a blown up Joker face and was like, hey, it's that time that I caught Joker. Like,
Here's my trophy.
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing. Is he's making Batman is like making his own participation trophies.
On the back of it, it says from Batman to Batman.
And it has the date like arrested Joker for the 17th time.
With a little heart.
XOXO. But
I like that. I like the fact that Batman, he basically journals on these giant objects.
It's like, how, or my mom did, like your mom would like keep
scrapbook.
ribbons of your stuff. Yeah. He has his own scrapbook that he makes because his mom's not around to do it for him.
Oh, I think you've really struck on something there, Zach. Yeah.
So he has to make his own
right
scrapbook.
There. Yeah.
And since he's
Mom
so
would be
rich,
so proud.
He's so rich, he doesn't have to do it in book form. He does it in like building form. Like, hey,
yeah,
it's the time that I've found dinosaurs.
What do you think that Joker mask is made out of?
Paper mache.
You think it's paper mache?
Yeah.
So do you think he did it?
Yes.
Okay. So he spent hours making a wire frame.
Dude, he is
wetting down paper.
As at this time, as powerful as Superman is, that is as prepared as Batman is at this time. And
I guess you're right. Yeah. Okay.
So Superman dives out of the way of the explosion, and using his X-ray vision and super hearing, he realizes that Robin was kind of knocked unconscious in the whole thing. And they're like, there's no way anybody could have survived that blast. Well, he doesn't want people to know and ruin the whole thing with Kathy Kane.
Gotcha.
So Superman burrows up underneath the Batcave.
This makes for a way cooler Superman, by the way. The fact that he's got these powers and he dresses like Batman.
As Batman?
Yeah.
This is like that time where we did, remember, where it was Speeding Bullets, where Superman became Batman.
Yeah.
That's what it was called, which was a good comic until Joker Lex Luthor pulled the Inspector Gadget helicopter out of his back.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that. He pulled a helicopter out of his butt.
Whatever
it was.
And just it was like connected to his back and just like flew away on a little jetpack. So Superman burrows up underneath the Batcave, and when Bruce comes down, he's like, hi Superman, our little masquerade really worked. Where's Robin? And he's like, oh, he'll be all right, Bruce, but I've got news for you.
He'll be all right.
You're dead is what he tells him. And he essentially explains like nobody could have survived that blast.
Yeah.
So then what we're doing instead,
but Robin's fine.
We have to pretend that you're dead then, or else people will know that I dressed up as you.
Sure. Yeah.
So like Robin hears news about
perfectly good plan. Can't go wrong.
No, you can't. And they both decided themselves, they're like, you know what? We'll use this because he's like, I can't stay dead though. And they're like, well, we'll use this. Like, this is our plan all along. Like they concoct this giant plan of how they're going to catch the Sphinx gang. Now.
That's what people say when they're caught off guard.
Exactly.
That was my plan all along.
Robin wakes up in the hospital and they're like, hey, Robin, sorry, but Batman didn't make it. Like we couldn't find any traces of him. And Robin's just like,
sorry, Batman's dead.
That's fine. I'm sure they're like, no human could have survived that. And Robin's like, but I'm sure Superman did. Like,
how many times they have to tell you that nobody can survive that blast?
But Superman can.
Seems like a lot.
But then he goes, but was he able to make the switch with Batman identity wise? Like I remember Batman talking about it, but did
they haven't told Robin either.
No, they talked about the idea and Batman was like, hey, I'll call Superman and see if he can fill in for me. But he just got a message and he was supposed to call him back. So Robin never knows if he called him back or not.
These guys are terrible people.
They didn't tell Robin.
Like they didn't tell the kid who's partner.
So there's like a special bulletin that comes out about Batman being announced that they could never find anything and that he's dead. And he's like, but Superman, if he's posing as Batman, and then like Robin starts worrying.
I don't like that Robin worried face.
Well, I don't know how else he's just.
You understand what I'm saying? Like he looks constipated is what he looks. Not worried.
Tears going down his face. Well, maybe he is too. And he runs out sobbing because he's like, I've lost the greatest friend anyone ever had. because he
Yeah.
thinks that Batman is dead
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Only when he comes out and he's walking the streets thinking about his best friend Batman, he thinks about Bruce Wayne, and then he also thinks about Batman in costume.
Thinking about his best friend Batman. Gosh, I sure remember the time that he threw me at the dinosaur so that he could get away. It was great.
Batman would never do that. But
It's
yeah,
like, here's Robin. I gotta go.
I love how he's just contemplating, but it was one picture of
Aw.
Bruce Wayne and then just two pictures of Batman, including one of Batman just like all just like barrel chested, just
This is
stuck out there.
a little homoerotic. I'm just saying, like it's almost
No,
like,
we've been over that. That's
it's
what
almost-
Frederick Wortham was trying to say in the 50s, and he was wrong.
but I'm saying it's like they broke up. You know, it's like, I mean, my
Oh,
buddy.
you think that it's a jilted lover now, not a dead Batman?
Well, no. I think it's a dead Batman, but I'm saying like you know, it was the explosion that broke them up in
No
several
particular
ways.
order.
But
Yeah.
I'm just saying the worry that's coming from Robin does not seem like it's the right amount for somebody who,
like, you think he should be more upset?
No, I think he's plenty upset.
Okay, well, here's something to look at because
Okay, here's something to look at.
you like
They
to
just
talk about
flipped
how
me
they
off.
don't
It was
tell him
crazy.
anything.
Yeah.
Superman comes up and he's like, Robin, I've been looking for you. And he goes, Superman, so it is you. And then about that time, the Bat Ghost
Uh-huh.
is floating up above there. And Superman goes, people are like, look, it's the ghost of Batman. And Robin is crying. And he goes, Batman dead. And it's all because of you, Superman. Sob. And Superman just leans in and goes, you caught on fast, Robin. You're putting on a great act. Keep it up. And he's like, huh? Act? I don't know what you mean. No, Robin is still legitimately upset, and they still
Yeah.
refuse to tell him what's going on.
Yeah.
Until later at the Batcave, we finally find
Poor
out
Robin.
that Superman dressed up as Batman, and
Look how
I guess
happy
just
he is.
painted himself all white.
Look how happy he is.
He is.
He's got such a happy face.
Here's the thing, too. You see that bottom panel down there,
Uh-huh.
though? So for
Wait,
Bruce to look, that's Bruce dressed up as Superman, but he has a Superman mask that he wears over his face.
why didn't they just switch?
Because he was, what do you mean?
Well, why is so Superman is dressed up like Batman and Batman's dressed up like Superman still?
Yeah. So Batman can hover like a ghost.
You're okay. Oh, I see. Well, now that makes a little sense. Yeah. Okay. All right. This is the first thing that's made
So
sense.
he can hover like a ghost.
Yeah.
And so they tell Robin all about that, and then they're like, all right, we're gonna go ahead and use this ghost thing.
Scarlet Witch is broken up about it.
That's Batwoman.
Oh, sorry.
She's upset Batman's
Tell me
dead.
that doesn't look like the 50s Scarlet Witch, though.
A little bit. Yeah, it does. Except she didn't have a mask part, it was just on her head.
Oh.
Like it
thought
doesn't
she had a
like,
mask.
come down here. No, Wanda's
Uh.
red. It just don't you love this? Hey, Rocky,
Hi,
you wanna see
everybody.
me pull a rabbit out of my hat? I
I'm
feel like
Moose
bowling
Man.
ball. But it had like the stuff that sit on top of her head.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Batwoman. I don't know what I'm doing
Yeah.
over here.
Was it something
it's
like
great.
this?
Yeah, kind of. The people
Yeah.
who are just listening to audio only
Yeah.
love
I'm
that.
sorry. I pointed at my forehead.
Anyway, so they tell Robin about how they're going to use the Bat Ghost to catch the rest of the Sphinx gang.
I like how half his face is white. That's my favorite.
The
part.
bottom part from where the cow.
Yeah, that's what I'm
covers.
saying. It's just half his face. He's only made half a commitment here. He's not worried about around his eyes.
No.
Yeah.
So the Bat Ghost shows up to thwart
who
a
are these
robbery of the
guys?
Sphinx gang.
Oh.
And while they're there, also Superman
kinda
melts
like
their
their look.
guns. Yeah, it's a cool looking look
Well,
for their mask. And
It's
the
they got
suits.
these masks that are like skeleton looking masks, but then they have like the
The
I don't know
Sphinx back part.
Sphinx
Yeah,
back part, but then they're just wearing suits, like
It's kinda
regular
cool.
ass suits.
they're probably like Mr. Pink, Mr. Green. It's like a
Yeah,
Reservoir Dog
yeah.
situation.
Reservoir Sphinx.
And like Superman melts the guns that they're holding. You're like, well, how can they do that? Because that's not Bruce. And we'll tell you in a second after we get you 75 Matchbox models for 49 cents each.
Well, you can also get 100 toy soldiers for
packed in a
$1.25.
Foot Locker.
Packed in this Foot Locker. You know that's just a cardboard box.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But when we come back, you see that it's
Just
Batman.
like Grandpa's that he brought back from Nazi Germany.
The cardboard box.
Uh-huh.
You see Superman. This is going to get very convoluted. Superman as Batman hiding behind a post using his X-ray vision to melt the gun. So it looks like Batman dressed up as Superman as doing it. Did you follow that?
This is insane.
I thought you'd like it.
Nobody's recognizing his face.
No, and he
Okay.
has that mask. Remember, he has the mask.
Oh,
that
that's
pulled
right. He has a
over.
rubber Superman
He has
face
a
mask.
rubber Superman mask.
Yeah.
So then
This is very Mission Impossible.
Superman flies fast enough that he picks Superman as Batman, flies fast enough to where you can't see him, but you can see Superman fly, but it's not really Superman flying. You get what I'm saying?
So he like makes it look like Superman is flying. Superman in this case is actually Batman.
Yeah, I see.
So
This is
Superman
it gets very
as
convoluted.
Superman dressed as KKK Batman here. He he picks up Superman, makes him fly.
But you can't see Superman flying Batman around, but you can come out or somehow see actual Batman dressed as Superman flying.
I don't think
around.
I've ever heard that Superman can fly so fast that you can't see him.
It comes up again here.
Okay, thank God.
But they
As long as they prove it to me, it's fine.
At this printing place, and they wrap up the bad guys in this giant roll of printing paper, and they let one of the villains escape.
Why printing paper?
Because they're at a printing press.
Oh, okay.
Well, what they do as the crook is
Stupid
escaping,
me for asking.
Batwoman shows up and she captures the last bad guy. And she walks him back in. And she goes, "Hey guys, like this one tried to get away. At least I was able to capture one person responsible for murdering Batman." And they're like, damn it.
By the way, no murder.
She ruined our plan.
Yeah, she really screwed the pooch on this one.
We should tell her about this before another error happens. And so
Batwoman, why is her suit so different?
That I don't know.
Like it's yellow and red and
yeah, I don't know why it is.
But it's nice that it lets her hair hang out like that.
It's just the front.
Yeah.
It's like the Wolverine mask I had.
Honestly,
as a kid.
it's a lot like this. Yeah.
Except she doesn't have the straps.
Well,
she doesn't. Here, I'll show. She doesn't have the beautiful straps.
Straps are for the strapped.
Yeah,
I don't know what that
but
means.
Aside from that, you're right. So
okay.
Well, in this instance, I guess.
Sure.
So they decide to tell her the whole plan of like, hey, like they don't tell her who Batman is, but it's just like, hey, I'm Batman pretending to be Superman. This is Superman who's pretending to be Batman because he's wearing that rubber mask, so she can't tell it's Bruce.
And she's like, God damn it, with you guys every time.
But they tell her that they were gonna let that last crook escape and follow him to the hideout to catch the rest of the gang. But since she captured him, they need a new plan.
She has to be like, dude, you've got more money than God. You have powers of a god, and you have to pretend that Batman blew up to catch these guys. Come on,
she doesn't know it's Bruce yet. Remember?
Yeah, but I'm saying, why'd they do it to begin with? Yeah, that's the right response. There's no reason to do this.
No, I mean they want to make sure that people think that Batman was human. Which I thought reading this, that why not let them think that he still survived it because it adds to his myth of him being like a bigger.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, just
and then don't go through like the two can still capture. I don't know. My brain.
I think they're just bored.
That's probably.
I think they're just looking for something to do.
Well, they do hunt down.
They're like, shit, we stopped all the criminals. Now what?
They do hunt down where the gang's gonna attack next, and they go. Superman does, and they go to stop it. And what happens
is this actual Superman or is it rubber mask Superman?
Superman is Batman. So
okay, so this is still rubber mask Superman.
Yeah, we're still pretending to be each other.
All right, great.
They have a sedan that the Sphinx gang's plan is to have the sedan ram this armored truck into the back of a.
It seems like a great plan.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But Bat Ghost comes in.
It's an armored truck.
Yeah, it's not going to work well. Bat Ghost comes in and he uses his breath to close the ramp for them to nudge the armored truck into. And the two of them, like, they hunt down and they take care of the last two members of the gang, and they're able to determine where. Oh, okay. I guess I should come back to us for me to try to explain.
Did he say that he painted himself white?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great.
I think it's just white paint.
Yeah.
So at the first robbery, when they captured the crooks, one of them left behind like a toolkit.
Sure.
And Batman found a hammer in there, and Batman ran tests on it and found out that the Hammerhead, he's telling Superman this because they capture the last people of the member or the gang, but he's like, we
Right.
still don't know their hideout. And Batman's explaining to him how he's deduced where their hideout is. And so the hammer that he found in that kit had metal powder on the hammer part of it. And in the handle part of it, the wood handle, it had
These poor kids in the 60s.
or the metal powder was ingrained in the wooden hammer, and it was the same stuff that they use at the fireworks. So their hideout must be at the Gotham Firework Factory, essentially.
The Gotham Firework Factory.
I'm sorry, the Gotham Firework Company.
Oh, okay.
It's not a factory; it's a company.
All right.
So they
Yeah,
go
it seems like a
there.
place where you constantly have criminals that are larger than life to like blow shit up.
Yeah.
And run around and cause general mayhem. What
It's-
I'm going to do is I'm going to start a fireworks company.
It seems like a good
yeah,
idea.
it seems perfect.
I mean,
yeah.
I'll always have customers.
Yeah.
So
Well, until somebody blows up the whole damn place.
Ghost Batman shows up at the firework company to scare.
Is that a sentence you thought you'd ever say? Ghost Batman shows up at the firework company.
In some weird fan fiction I wrote, maybe.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Or a
that's true.
Scooby-Doo episode.
Yeah.
Zoinks. To stop the big crook. And they see there's a part where Superman dressed as Batman moves so fast that he appears to be in 3 places at once. To make, his ghost form seem even spookier. And he talks to the crime boss, and it spooks him out of the factory, and he runs to get his secret stash of cash so he can get out of town. And it's down in the well, and he's like, that's where you kept it. That's
he keeps
the only
his secret cash in a well.
Yeah, I mean, that's what would you call that? In the bottom.
Yeah, it's a well.
Yeah,
it's definitely a well.
And so he tells him, this is where we've just needed to see where you kept all your stash farm, because he goes all the way to an abandoned farm where he's captured it. Like, we found all the money you've been storing. Now we can just arrest you. And so Superman, fake Superman, Batman as Superman, and Robin show up.
I knew we should have sent an inspector out to look at Stash Farm.
And later, after Reagan, who's the big crime boss, was turned over to the police. Yeah.
Ronald Reagan?
Yeah. Trickle down economics, man. Okay. He was funding it some way. That's what's going to get us demonetized this week.
Trickling down economics.
There is a post-credit scene.
What?
There's a post-credit scene in the Reagan movie. You know this?
No, I don't know about this. I've heard y'all talk about the Reagan movie. I have not.
I'm not going to watch it before I end our show. But the thing is spoiler alerts if you're going to.
Wait a minute. What happens in the comic?
We're going to get there.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you were just done with it.
No.
You're like, screw it. Let's talk about the Reagan
I was just
going
to say there's an after-credit scene of his funeral. Like,
yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Oh, I did hear y'all talking about that, and
the only reason I have that is if his hand comes out of the ground.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. They should have done a Carrie.
Was that Carrie that they do?
Carrie, yeah, at the very end. Because the only reason I know that is because it's literally one of the only things I've ever heard my mother scream over.
Oh.
We watched that on VHS, and at the end, the hand comes up, and she's ah! Yeah. This is the same woman though that had to stop watching Cowboys football because she started getting heart palpitations.
Oh,
that's how much she was into it.
Ooh, okay. She does get into it though.
Yeah, not anymore.
So, back at the Batcave after Reagan's been turned over, and they're like, "All right, well, so ends the case of the Batman ghost." And he's like, "Yeah, through this, like, we were able to capture the Sphinx game. We were able to find the loot. And an obvious reason for switching identities was for us to do that. Now we, everybody will buy this story."
Yeah, sure.
And so, but I want to be sure, Bruce goes, I want to be sure that Kathy Kane believes it. And that will call for a clincher before this case is closed. And so they're on a date again, or I say that Bruce is over at Kathy's house. And Kathy's like, it's a mighty strange coincidence. Is the one time Batman and you were in 2 places at once that Superman was pretending to be Batman. And so he's like, yeah, will you ever just let this go? Kind of like, it's not that big of a deal. And he turns on the TV, and about that time it says, then as the TV picture comes into view, Kathy goes, Superman, Batman, and Robin receiving an award from the mayor? Oh dear, I've been such a fool, Bruce. Oh. And so now she sees, obviously it can't be because Superman's there now.
That's right.
Robin's there, and there's Batman. But what does Bruce say to close it out? Alfred's doing a real good job in my Batman role. And in a way, I'm grateful to Kathy. If she hadn't suspected me of being Batman, I would have died in that cave explosion. The end.
Good God.
the cave explosion is where that was the explosion that at the beginning. It was in a cave.
Well, that was great.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I feel great about it. It was wonderful.
Glad you liked it.
That
man.
is really goofy, but
That's what these are.
I get it, and I think I said that last week too. But
better or worse than cutting up Superman's body parts?
I like this one better.
Okay,
because it's one part.
That's true.
And there's something about the fact that it's Superman is Batman, Batman is Superman, and one of them just paints their entire body white.
Yeah, it's very
yeah.
Just the bottom part, not his eye, around his
eyes.
eyes.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah.
Oh man. So
you know who's not doing their job in Gotham? The press. Because after a while, you got to write some exposés on these guys. Like, what the hell are they doing?
Do you think they don't, like, they tried to and they're like, not now, I don't have time?
I think they're just bumbling idiots. They're like
The
running
press?
into each other and stuff. Yeah.
Or Batman and Superman?
Well, probably both. Yeah.
Well, remember they did print that Garth turned Batman into Batbaby that one time.
That's true.
They don't have a problem printing the stories that they need to.
Yeah. I wonder, what do you think they print after this? Do you think they know?
Batman, Superman,
well, I guess they
Superman,
don't
Batman.
know, right?
Well, no, they'll tell them afterwards to be like, this is why we did it. This is why Batman's alive.
But they can't, because then Kathy Kane will find out.
Well, no, they told Kathy Kane that Superman pretended to be Batman.
Oh, okay.
But he was wearing the rubber mask, so she didn't know it was Bruce.
Yeah. It's such an intricate story. I had trouble following it.
So Bruce was worried that Kathy was going to think no, I'm not doing that.
Mhm.
Anyway, that was our World's Finest Wednesday today, issue number 139 from back in February of 1964, The Ghost of Batman. Next Wednesday, we'll have more silliness like this too. So you can.
This was fun though.
Yeah, I enjoyed this. It's fun.
I liked it a lot.
If anything, it's more for Mike and us to talk about silly comic stuff and
yeah, it's great.
How you can get Matchbox cars for 49 cents.
Oh, I'm getting the soldiers.
Are you? Is that what you wanted?
Yeah.
I'm trying to see. It won't let me do it.
I used to go out in my front yard, and this is only child problems here, right?
Okay.
I'd go out in the front yard. I was the only one around, cue side music, but I would dig in the front yard, and I had these intricate tunnels that I created so that the don't play the sad music.
Oh, okay.
So I had these intricate tunnels
I have the
that I had dug by hand
Uh-huh.
that I would put the army men in little
you made
scenes.
their own trenches.
And then, speaking of this comic, or it's a weird coincidence, I would get a lot of those snakes, from the fireworks place, the little black pellets that you set on fire and they turn into snakes. Well, I would get those and have them invade like the army stuff. And
so it was
it was like trimmers, basically, is what it was in my front yard. Yeah. Well, it is cool until your dad goes to mow the front yard and the mower falls in one of your trenches that you.
Who was more upset, your dad or you, for having to build a new trench?
Oh, me, definitely. Yeah. I got to rebuild all this shit. Get out of my way, old man.
All right. Thank you guys, as always, for taking the time out to listen or watch. We appreciate it very much. You can reach us at brosfoesandheroes@gmail.com. Also, don't forget to check out the other great podcasts on the Rogue Media Network family of podcasts.
RogueMediaNetwork.com.
And until next Wednesday, stay safe, everybody.
Hey, Superman is Batman, says Golly Khan, and Batman is Superman, says Golly Khan, too.
Bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.